today's video. Today's video will look in a scenario in which Europe has a civil war. It'll include the Middle East and parts of North Africa, because it's on the map. And well, yeah. And it'll be Russia versus Britain, with the first nation to join Britain's side being France, along with Ukraine, which may or may not make sense. This is followed by Belarus joining, which is then followed by Poland, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, and Finland joining. And well, it's going to be an interesting video. Very interesting video. And let's see how it goes. And you'll see how it goes. And so we don't make it one side dependent, let's put Germany on the bad side. Germany can go for a walk down into the bad side. Kind of unfortunate. And some of the nations that were occupied by Russia at one or another point, like Romania, Slovakia, and Moldova, join against Russia, with Serbia joining on Russia's side, and not Bosnia. Bosnia joins against them. Why? Because they do. Bosnia, Albania, and Kosovo go against them, along with Belgium and Luxembourg. But the Netherlands decides to go on the bad team, because why wouldn't they? And well, so does Ireland, because they want Northern Ireland back, apparently. But instead of being taken over by Germany in a few minutes, they decide to join against Germany. Why? Because they do. With Sweden and Norway doing the exact same thing. With Greece deciding to join the red team. So you know what that means? Greece joined the blue team, so Turkey joins the red team. And this area also joins. I don't do. This is being a bit of a troubles. The Balkans always are. So maybe I shouldn't be surprised. With Armenia and Georgia joining the blue team. And yeah, Armenia is going to be fun to color in, because I didn't realize that it's going to do this with similar colors being taken over. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. Just depends on the mood it's in, I guess. The map. And now Italy joins the bad team along with Spain. And well, Bulgaria joins the bad team. And well, good team, bad team, good team, bad team, bad team, good team, bad team, bad team, bad team, bad team, good team, good team, bad team, bad team, bad team. Yeah, I'll show you what it is once I get back. Has begun. With the first movement by Russia happening. With Russian forces entering the Baltics. With the first move of the red team being most likely secured, they think. With the first offensive being good, but a bit of supply got in, but not enough to change the course of it. With Russia focusing on Ukraine, because, well, they have to. And let's say the Ukraine war wasn't already happening. And that they were actually competent. And that they get German tanks, the Russians do, because Germany joined their team, literally. With the Polish war breaking out right away. With the Italians moving into the Balkans, with the attacks on like every front by Serbia. Oh wait, I meant to put Bulgaria on the other team. Just for entertaining purposes. And well, let's see how it goes. With Hungary and Austria deciding to go up against Czechoslovakia. With them basically working together, what a shock. With them quickly taking over and running over Cyprus. And running quickly and taking Tunis. Which leads to the capitulation. With the invasion of Portugal by Spain going really well at this point. And they start an invasion of Morocco with the help of Algeria doing most of the heavy lifting. They managed to take out Algeria. But at this point, the war is going really bad. With the collapse of Israel by the pro-Palestinian army, literally, legitimately, and Israel being turned into a bad area to live. With Bulgaria's push helping Serbia, with Srpska rising up and Serbs in Croatia, Hungary starts an invasion to help the Germans and Italians joint invasion. And you know how I said, you know how Russia isn't doing much in Finland? Well, this is what they do. And yeah. But as Spain is starting to capitulate, Portugal and rebels start breaking out rebellions. France starts its invasion of Spain with the help of the UK. Ireland manages to take over Northern Ireland for a split second for a few months, and then Britain sends the supplies to destroy this rebellion. Oh my god, I used the wrong color. This is not good. It wasn't really good what I just did. I did something wrong. With not only France starting an invasion of Spain, Britain sends forces into Ireland and they knock out Ireland in a matter of weeks. With Spain managing to take out the north of Portugal. But with the invasion by France building up, they're forced to take soldiers in occupied parts of Morocco. And at this point, they are pushed out. And so they have to withdraw a bunch of troops from Portugal, leading to a front line like this. But Portugal, seeing the tides turn, they started an invasion here because there's barely any soldiers, and they break through. There's also a breakthrough by France, and Britain makes a landing in the Basque area. With German forces struggling and set up a front line in Belgium, and they secure Denmark by invading southern Sweden. And while the fall of Czechia, and Ukraine's getting a bad situation because a lot of the nations that would be supporting it if a war happened is at war. And well, the invasion isn't going well, with Hungary starting an invasion of Ukraine, and Russian troops move into Poland. With the German and Russian troops' joint capitulation of Poland, and Turkey's takeover of Greek islands, it looks really much in the favor of the red team at this point. But that could break at any time considering how powerful Britain and France is. With the fall of all of Eastern Europe, the focus gets put on France. But don't worry, they have to go through the Switzerland first and Belgium. So France manages to hold a little longer, as Britain is starting to fully mobilize. And Finland gets pushed back a bit more, but is managing to hold. And with British troops arriving in Portugal, they help the Portuguese overthrow, well, Spain. And France finally has a breakthrough, meaning they can easily seize Madrid. Now, they're turning out to be kind of like the Peninsula War with rebels holding. But eventually they completely capitulate Spain and put them to here, with them going after Italy. Why Italy? Because they make a breakthrough where Italy is holding, which leads to the Italian front line turning to this. With Italy in trouble, all their allies are now sending forces, which leads to a bit of a fallback in Belgium and a fallback in Sweden. With the fallbacks in the Netherlands leading to the front line like this, and the fallbacks in Denmark leading the front line to be like this. But they focus on Italy. With them creating stability on this front where they won't get pushed back, so they decide to continue their war into Spain. And how do they get ships to land in Italy? From France's south coast, I realize. And with the Algerians being pushed back here and pushed back in Tunisia. The Algerians enter a two-front war that's unwinnable for them and unsustainable to continue, so they know they're going to lose if they don't hold. With them failing here, so they know the war is over, and the country surrenders and capitulates before the destruction of its capital. And so now people may be like, well, they're doing pretty good now. With the red team pushing across Libya, with them seeing how weak the non-European nations truly are, with a rebellion breaking out in some occupied territories, with the Israelis starting a rebellion with support from the West again. And then they also send forces in to help start rebellions there, so they fund rebellions in Saudi. And with these funded rebellions there, this country surrenders. Well, not any country didn't surrender, although now it seems like Egypt is on the brink of collapse. With them managing to sustain the front line here. With Italy capitulating, they use that to move up into Austria. With them now able to move into Germany on multiple fronts, they start moving in. If they can capitulate Germany, they're in a good spot, because this is like one of the major players of the team who's supplying all the money to all of its allies. Eventually, Germany capitulates, followed by Austria, which leads to the front line moving towards Russian-held territory. And yeah, with it basically being a unifying Europe group, which is the blue team, versus an anti-unified Europe group, which is the red team. With Turkey's navy being decimated in the Aegean Sea, which leads to like this being the front line. With Hungary and Serbia seeing the writing on the wall, and they both surrender. And then Bulgaria decides to, seeing that there's no chance now that all their Balkan allies have gave up. With them starting to move into Romania. Just starting to mean Russia has lost this war. With Russia starting to see the writing on the wall, but not giving up because they refuse to. With Finland kicking the Russians out of the south. And with the march into Istanbul, leading to the fall of a major city in Turkey and landings all over the country, lead to this. If Europe wins, everything's unified. With Iraq falling and the rest of Turkey that's held as being under hold of Russia, which also leads to the fall of the Caucasus region. With Russia kind of humiliated here, they now have to send troops to more frontline. With Finland completely kicking them out. And a landing into the Baltics, taking the Baltics out, but still Kaliningrad, Belarus, Russia, and Kazakhstan basically build a wall that's unpenetrable, which leads to them losing lots of ground in Ukraine for the goal. But they realize that, well, this isn't going to work out in their favor. And so, well, they start losing ground. And there's not really going to be a peace treaty, let's say. Exactly like borders changing. No, it's going to form a confederation where all nations are united together. Like the European Union will become a federation with all of Europe, and all the states will be European states. And they decide the borders currently are pretty good. And well, the fall of Kazakhstan happens, and then the fall of the rest of the country. And they're like, this is how it falls. And once it does fall, there's no turning back. And basically, in the peace treaty, there's only one change. They literally just do this to change the borders. And they do this. And then all nations are put into one ideology, basically. So all the nations are unified and free. With a democracy falling over Europe that owns all of Europe, kind of like the US. And that's all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Wild Mapper out, but not until you subscribe. Bye, guys!